What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it and let's have a discussion about Justin Fields, man. No real intro. Let's get right into the conversation. So, Justin Fields, who I'm on record a couple years ago for the Fields and Lawrence draft, I'm a Fields guy. I'm on record doing that. I have videos about it, how I like Fields more than Lawrence, how Lawrence won't be a transcendent superstar, all that good stuff, whatever. And I've also done videos this year on Lawrence, on positive and negative, So it was time for Fields, though. I wanted to wait until his hot start cooled down a little bit or he got injured. And yesterday versus my favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons, he got injured, finished the game, got carted off with a shoulder injury. And I want to say this: all that running, all that record breaking, all that good stuff he was doing the last couple weeks was all for nothing. Straight up, he hasn't parlayed, and I blame this on him and on his coaching staff. Now I understand, the best way to win right now is for Fields to use his legs. The O line sucks, but Fields does have time in certain moments to make plays. And I think, I'm sure he's being coached up. I'm sure he knows that, but just the pressure and also the easy, can't even say the word. The ease of using your legs helps you, you know what I mean? But I don't need to see him be Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick because he's better thrower of the ball than those two, naturally. I'm a Vic stan. Vic had a cannon, but accuracy wasn't there. Lamar's very good. He's Vic 2.0 or Vic version 2, whatever you want to call him. Same thing. He has a cannon for an arm, but the accuracy isn't there. Fields does not or did not in college have accuracy issues. That was not the case. His only thing was his progressions and seeing the field. That's it. Accuracy was no problem. Arm strength no problem. But in NFL, as of his first 2 years, he's had okay weapons, at least one or two good weapons. Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, and Mooney gets one good ball a game, two good balls a game most of the times. Catches one or two, goes for about 40, 50 yards and one touchdown for the most part. Fields' connection with Kmet has been pretty good lately. They've been balling out together, but he doesn't do it enough. You know, um, he has to parlay this running into a better passing attempt, and it's not happening. And I put on Twitter yesterday, and I was talking to some Bears fans. They really traded for Claypool for no reason. Claypool's barely playing, and I understand it's a new scheme, new offense, new playbook. It takes time, but as they said when Claypool first got there, they're gonna put him on simple, easy routes. Cool. Put that big body receiver in slants and let Fields hit him in stride and do damage. My Falcons defense is garbage. Straight up. I said that on Twitter. And Bears fans commented back and forth, and some agreed, some talked about Fields couldn't cut an O line, but O line isn't that bad. Like, he has time. I know a lot of times he doesn't, but the times that he do, he has to recognize and hit his players. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I just think it's the same thing as RG3. You know, learn how to slide. The injury yesterday was a combination for it. Like I said, I wanted to wait purposely because I knew Fields would get injured. It's the way of the game. He's not big enough to take all that punishment, and he's a big boy, 6'3", pushing 225, 230, somewhere in that range. I did a video earlier, and I forgot on who and why, but it was about running quarterbacks. And I mentioned in that video the only quarterbacks I need to see running and taking hits like that is Josh Allen and Cam Newton, prime Cam Newton. Outside those two guys, no one else should be taking hits like Fields does, like Dak Prescott does at certain moments. Just get down. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? Unless it is, but most of the time it's not. Just slide down. And Fields, like I said, he's a big body young man, 6'3", pushing 230, 225, somewhere in that range. He took a lot of punishment so far this season. Cool. But it's gonna wane on you. It's gonna wane on you. It's gonna cause wear and tear. It's gonna hurt to keep doing this, to keep your style of play up. And from what it looks like, that's what they're leaning on. They're doing more QB runs, which is cool. But you have two good running backs. I know one was out yesterday. Khalil Herbert was out with injury. But you had two good running backs normally, and you can use Fields as a third option, but not as the main option to me personally. But um, it's just wild to me how they're coaching this guy up or how they're playing him. Because I don't know if they really care for Fields as their quarterback because he's not their guy. They didn't draft him, but I just think they're not doing him justice. And he's not doing himself justice because it's all about winning. I guess in the NFL, but you gotta get to the point where your team is good enough to win. And his performances have been Superman like, have been superhuman, but they still aren't winning. They won one game since he's been going over 80 yards rushing. They won one game. They've been in all the games, but they only won one. So it's like, what is it all for? what what is it all for? Nothing. Everyone knew prior to this that he could run, but he's still not passing the ball better. Yeah, he gets a couple touchdowns more in there, and yeah, but they're mostly, for the most part, close to the goal line, red zone throws, Cole Kmet, or a little beyond red zone, 30 yards, 40 yards out, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney. You might get a Pettis deep ball here and there, but Claypool is being so underused, it's ridiculous. He should just stayed in Pittsburgh, to me, or went somewhere else, been traded somewhere else. He's not being used. And, it's only one season, half a season, still has more left to go. They'll probably, hopefully, gain more chemistry with Claypool. But man, simple routes, put him on a slant. Against my Falcons, who are the worst ranked defense, passing defense, Claypool should have had a day. That should have been the day y'all should have played pitch and catch all day with Claypool and Mooney, and let these boys work. Get a little bit of Cole Kmet in there, and let them boys work. They won't stop at nothing. My Falcons won't gonna stop nothing. And I just really think that um, you know Fields and Lawrence seeing their struggles. This is year two now. They went to bad teams. I do understand that because the Chargers. I want to compare a little bit to Mahomes and Herbert. Who went to good teams, good solid teams, to Lawrence and Fields. I don't think Herbert and Mahomes, if roles were switched, right? And Mahomes and Herbert came out a couple years later, and they went to the Jags and to Bears respectively. I don't think they would struggle this much. I really don't think so. And the talent gap isn't that far from Group A, which is Mahomes and Herbert, to Group B, Lawrence and Fields. The talent gap isn't that far for this to be this much of a struggle of year two for these two young men. And like I said, I did a video on Lawrence earlier. I did one video saying, okay, I think through the first 3 or 4 weeks, the Jags look great. They might win the AFC South. Awesome. And then I did a video probably about 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, said, what's the problem? They won no games since I did that video. Well, they have now, but since that video after week three, they went on like a 5, 6 game losing streak. I'm like, yo, what's the problem? Lawrence looked like a world breaker first 3 weeks, and after that, he's been garbage. So I'm not understanding what's going on. And Fields, who's had good performances, still isn't throwing the ball better. Yeah, he's got commit last game against I forgot who it was, not the Falcons game, but the prior game. He got Cole Kmet on 2 good touchdowns. He threw one to Mooney. He's throwing good balls like once or twice a game. But he's not doing it consistent enough to really be respected as a passer, and that's the problem. He's gonna still be used for his legs, but if they do that, that's fine. But you have to slide down. and he's not doing that. The coaching staff, I don't think, is teaching that. He's trying to fight for every yard, trying to dish out punishment. He won't last long doing that. He won't. He's been lucky so far. He's just now with a shoulder injury. I don't know if it's serious or not, but he has to rein himself in, or has to protect himself and start throwing the ball more, throwing it better, and just let it fly. You know what I mean? Just let it fly. I don't think that no circumstance, unless he gets a major injury, that the Bears will go quarterback in this draft. They're going to build around him. They're going to have the money in free agency. They're going to have the cap space, and they're going to have the draft picks. So he's going to be the quarterback, dang near guarantee. You don't have to keep running like this because you're not even winning regardless. You're not even winning with it. So pick your shots here and there to run. But when it calls for it, slide down. You don't got to fight for every yard. You're not winning the games no way. So what's the point? You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it. I want to see everyone do great, but I think Fields has set himself up, and the coaching staff has set himself up to have a short career or just be very injury prone, hurt himself bad, and then he can't throw the ball at all. Then he's gonna be a waste of talent. Might have to go to running back or something. So I don't want that to be the case for Fields, and that's being over dramatic. I don't think that'll happen, but I hope it don't. But you know, there is a world where I could see Fields be a gadget guy. If for some reason he hurt his shoulder bad enough where he can't throw the ball that much or something, might be a gadget guy, go to receiver, go to just a hybrid back or something like that. That could happen maybe. You never know, but that's on a super dramatic spectrum that probably won't even happen. It's like a 1 out of 10 chance probably, but yeah, I do want Fields and Lawrence to be better, and they're just not. They're just not progressing at the rate that they should. The rate that they should. Excuse me. So, but that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I can't talk. Subscribe. I will see you guys next time.